If you are like most people, you compare yourself to others. And you probably do it more than you realize. You compare your progress to someone else's success, your behind the scenes to their highlight reel, your quiet effort to their loud result. And it feels harmless at first, just a thought, just a glance. But psychologically, it's one of the most damaging habits we normalize. Not because comparison is evil, but because your brain isn't built to do it fairly. Your mind has something called social comparison bias. It constantly scans the environment to see where you stand, who's ahead, who's behind, and who's winning. This used to help us survive, but today it mostly helps us feel inadequate. Because now you're not comparing yourself to 5 people in your town, you're comparing yourself to thousands of strangers online. People with different starting points, different resources, different timelines. And your brain doesn't care about context. It just sees distance. And the problem isn't that you're behind. The problem is that you're measuring yourself with the wrong ruler. When you compare yourself to others, you ignore one crucial thing. You don't know their path. You don't know how many times they failed, what they sacrificed, what they are struggling with right now. You're comparing your inside to their outside, and that comparison leaves marks. Not visible ones, but psychological bruises. Lower confidence, less motivation, more anxiety, and more self-doubt. And worst of all, it convinces you that your progress doesn't count. And there is a reason a simple phrase has survived for so long. Comparison is the thief of joy. Not because ambition is bad, but because comparison quietly steals appreciation for how far you've already come. But there's a much healthier comparison, one your brain actually benefits from. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Not to shame yourself, but to notice movement. Progress isn't always dramatic, and sometimes it's quieter than you expect. Showing up when you didn't want to, understanding something you didn't before, and making a slightly better choice than last time. That's real growth. Behavioral science shows that motivation increases when progress feels personal, where your brain can see cause and effect, effort and reward. When you compare yourself to others, effort feels pointless. When you compare yourself to your best self, effort feels meaningful. And meaning is what keeps people going. You don't need to be ahead of anyone else. You just need to be moving. Slow progress still counts. Progress that no one else sees still counts. Life isn't a race against others. It's rather a long conversation with yourself. So next time you feel that familiar comparison creeping in, just pause for a second and ask yourself this instead. Am I better than I was before? If the answer is yes, you're doing enough. Keep going.